It's getting near dawn. When lights close the tired eye.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm just on a late night little flow. It's a late night little flow. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not really even talking about anything. I just want to home in on something that I noticed. You know what I'm saying? And I have to be definitive of it because there's so many sensitive people out here. So I just want to be real. I want to be specific about it. I want to tell it for how what it is. You know, I've been blogging for 3 years as of last week on this channel. Can't complain. There's been some good times, been some good people on here. There's still some good people to come through here. Tamara, Toria, a couple others. And I appreciate every last one of them. From the fact when they write my Cash App in there or whatever the case may be, they always come through for me. You understand? So don't you get me confused in the words I'm about to say, because I can only take it from a perspective of what I've been seeing. So we won't be playing any little cute little clips in this one. I did that on the last live. If y'all want to see that, they didn't appreciate that either. So I'm a fan of trajectory. Always have been. Learned about it very early on because I was in the music business at a time where computers weren't being that utilized. As of yet. 4 years down the road, they would be. The capacity I never even realized. But I'm not here to talk to you about the music business either, because I don't sell secrets. I don't pimp out my own. I don't do that shit. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me tell the vagabonds in the trash I'm live. I get so sloppy post now, I don't even be giving a damn. There was a time where I really cared about the presentation and everything like that or whatever. But what you'll see is the better presentation that you give African Americans and a lot of Latinos, the worse they'll treat you. And if you look different from them, or something sticks out about you that's not the same as them in linear form as far as like personality, whatever the case may be, they'll turn against you or be the first ones that they will turn against in the fact that it matters they turn against people. It's very true. I've witnessed it. I've lived it. I've witnessed it. I've lived it. And it still goes on to this day. So I was on the phone with somebody. And I was talking to him. Y'all excuse the rattling. I'm eating some candy. I was on the phone. I was talking to somebody because they came on here online tonight to see me or whatever. And they were like, yo, son, why you flip out like that there? I said, what you mean? When I said, fuck them niggas? I said, fuck these niggas? Why not? That's what they say to me. Fuck this nigga. I told y'all, just between me and other vloggers, I'm not up here to give y'all pretty presentations. You get what you pay for. You want to treat me low budget, you're not getting high budget material. That shit cuts out. Call it what you want to. So let me dispel some truths to a lot of other cultures that will see my podcast in the near future. It gets through all kinds of eyes. So I said, well, let me take the opportunity right now and divulge what's really going on here and who these people pretend they are versus who they really are inside in their heart of hearts, which is two totally different things. Now, it doesn't mean everybody. No, of course not. Well, let's say a 55 to 60% margin. This is who these people are nowadays. Now, in 2024, not before, but now. Many years of, well, if you're talking about down south in the Mississippi Plateau, incest and bad DNA swapping choices, no educations, poverty for life. Then you mix that in the Northeast with bad school systems, horrible grammar for the most part, and couplate that with hundreds of thousands that are living the same way next door to each other, basically. Yet these same people will defend that lifestyle down to the last bullet. They will defend that lifestyle. I'm going to tell you about some other interesting lifestyles. And this is all coming from a psychological point of view. I don't want anybody to think that I'm just riding to be riding. No. I'm riding because I didn't get any donations on the last one, man. I knew a year ago I couldn't trust these niggas. And you'll find out too if you're a new vlogger. All these motherfuckers will leave you in a quick minute. Say something they don't like. Say something they don't like. Let somebody that they feel is a bigger personality than you. They'll leave you high and dry. Trust me on this. I've learned this. I lived through this. Trust me. So you can't trust most people that are African American and Latino and are in that hip hop gossiping sector. Not trust them. You'll find a few in there that are trustworthy. A few. And when I say a few, I mean a few. I can count them on two hands. You'll find a few. But for the most part, always look at most black and brown YouTubers as they're going to get you. It's just a matter of when. I truthfully believe this because I've seen it demonstrated so many times. You can't tell me anything differently. At this time, I'm just protecting my own interests. And self-preservation comes to mind. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, strategically, that's what you have to be about, self-preservation. We have thousands of bloggers. And for many to hear this, and you're not African American, because that's the target market I'm going after to listen to this. I don't want African Americans to listen to this because then they think I'm trying to shame them and then the crybaby shit comes in. I'm not talking to y'all. I was talking to y'all earlier. I didn't want to talk back, so I'm not talking to y'all. You don't talk to ungrateful people. I'll get into ungrateful in a minute, but I was going to put a reel together of everywhere that I went last year. And I'm talking about visiting locations and filming on locations, doing lives on locations, etc., etc. And there's many places I've named or whatever. For people that don't know this, I went to Seneca Village. I went to the Adelman Ballroom where Malcolm X was shot and killed. Jesus Christ, where else have I went? 50th anniversary of hip hop. Gave a whole concert with and did all the footage that you could think of, and almost damn near towards the middle of the front with Fat Joe. Who else was out there? Pete Rock, CL Smooth, Public Enemy. Whatever. This is 50th anniversary of hip hop. I couldn't even get one African American to donate to me so I could get a soda out there after I was sitting there filming for these guys for about 2 hours. You know that? I went to the next spot. Jesus Christ, Universal Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx. I took them there. I took him to the Book of Hove. Oh my God, multiple record labels. You know what I'm saying? Where most people are like, yo, how the fuck is it? Because niggas in there know me. Like, you know what I mean? African Americans have become a very greedy, narcissistic, throw you away quickly type of culture. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, we differ a lot because the way I grew up and the people I grew up around, I've always known that I'm different in correlation with them, but at the same time, I still fit in. You know, I do my part. Trust me. And I'm an advantage to many because, you know, even back in the day when we was going to get the, you know, the works for the, you know, sharing for the hedge, you know what I mean? I'll put it that way. I was a guy that like a lot of times had to be the interpreter, if you want to say, for the facilitation of the thing. You know what I'm saying? If you feel me, you feel me. If you don't, you don't. But and I say that to you, everybody else, America. I'm trying to move away from this crowd because this crowd is not supportive. And unfortunately enough, that is one of the hardest things to say, being someone that's just half African American. It's very hard to say. But the rendition and the addition and the people that you have now are the cataclysm of woke culture, communism, and socialism wrapped into one culture heavily, so heavily that it's controlling them. Now, if you're in a car and the car is veering off the road, and I'm trying to help you get the car back in line so you can stay on the road, right? And you're not turning the wheel with the car at the same time. I'm turning anything other emotion to go along to help me do that, then I gotta hop out the car sooner or later. No, don't you agree? You gotta hop out the fucking car. If I'm trying to help you prevent you from crashing this car, and you still ain't trying to hold on and, you know, praise thanks or whatever, good look and anything like that, I gotta go on. I gotta go on. I gotta go on. Black culture that you once knew does not exist anymore. It's now a culture riddled in jealousy, narcissism, presumptuousness, finger pointing, pitchfork toting, and just pure simple fuckery. And the promoting of anyone that is toxic, disgusting, and curses a lot and talks like a slave. You have to talk like a slave. That comes customary, don't you know? If you don't talk like a southern slave, it's not going to work for you online. I'll call a guy like me fake. Go hear somebody literally lie to people and won't even interrupt them. Won't even interrupt them. Because people become weak. That's what I'm telling you. Extremely weak. And even if you don't think you're weak, the perception of you is weak. And the things that you grab onto and gravitate to are those high schooler. We have motherfuckers that never worked outside of a job at McDonald's online right now talking about Katt Williams is definitely telling the truth. We had a goofy motherfucker who 20% of the time, sometimes I agree with him. 20% out of 100, that's very low. Charleston White. Lucas responded to him with a freestyle. That let you know he lying, man. Shut your goofy ass up, man. You got beat up. You shouldn't be talking about any other man. You got beat up and was throwing flower pots. Fake flower pots. Off the stage. As you got rushed by some Bobo niggas. Why you ain't say get the strap? I'm just asking a question. Why you ain't say get the strap? Oh, all right. Oh, all right. All right. Y'all pardon me. Meaning as I'm talking to these guys. Why didn't you say get the strap? If you're a gun collector, not a gun user, it's a difference. You're a gun collector, not a gun user. For gentlemen, for other cultures, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He's a gun collector. He's not a gun user. You ain't one of us. Ain't fucking way. Fuck that guy. I'm not here per se to shit on the culture because that's just not where I'm at. But I can, and I will, point out imperfections that you have. I can't tell you how many times in my life I've either walked past somebody black and somebody white is walking in the circumference or whatever, and I can predict how that person, that other minority, is going to act. It doesn't matter if they're Asian, Middle Eastern, it doesn't matter. I can predict how they're going to act based on the presence of that white person. But if that white person wasn't there, they would be a totally different person. They'd be passive aggressive. They'd be narcissistic. They'd try to jump in your face and act like they're better than you, depending on if your size is, whatever, whatever. And that's something I have to deal with every fucking day. It's almost another job. And it's nerve-wracking. And to have some people that look just like you pressing the issue of that nail down into your spine, you know what I'm saying? It's something sooner or later you have to look back and be like, okay, well, you know, this is happening to me like this. This is how I feel about this. And am I wrong to point out that the motherfuckers that are doing it the most happen to look like me? And it doesn't matter if they're Jamaican, it doesn't matter if they're Haitian, it doesn't matter whatever. Even though respectively I got crews like this, I'm talking about in the broader sense of the world. These used to be extremely intelligent people. And now they have been reduced down to no more than gossipers and tattletales for vloggers. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself when you see you go into legitimate places and yet and still you'll say you're for the culture and don't donate a dime. Do y'all hear me? Rest of America. Por la gente latino, tú sabes. Era toda la gente en tú sabes, pero no la no grito ahí. No la nego. You do things for them and they respond back to you by spitting in your face, basically. Talking about you in private chats that you can't respond to. Having whole open discussions about you on their podcast without, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And he asked me why I feel the way I feel. Why would I make a statement after I had my one and only daughter by a dark-skinned Haitian woman when the last woman I was with was a fucking African? And I was with her for 7 years. Now, all of a sudden in 2024, I'm making a statement like that. No, I'm simply going off what the fuck I'm observing. And if you're telling me what I'm observing is motherfucking strongly different, then I think you're just a motherfucker that sits on their phone every day and doesn't interact with the rest of the world. Because listen here, buddy, I'm outside. God bless his heart. I remember the kid down in Brooklyn there. What was his name? had the cornrows in his head. Everybody's comparing him to 50. Yo, shout out to Casanova too. What was his son's name? They killed him out there in California. I forgot what his name is. He was a young boy. And there was some words he said. He said, I don't fuck with niggas. And then ultimately in the end, there was some niggas that came up into his motherfucking joint and killed him in California. Some niggas. If there's a nigga walking behind you, you better watch them before you watch the white person that's walking behind you. 9 times out of 10 nowadays. Intentions are different. I really don't give 2 shits about what Katt Williams said or whatever. He's fucked himself. He'll figure that out sooner or later. Was it worth it for that little 5-10 minutes? He'll get some ticket sales or whatever. But there's other ways of doing things. He knows that. He knows that. So he'll suffer his own consequences. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I think I'm going back into my motherfucker Jones mode. I never met motherfucker Jones, huh? Man, motherfucker Jones is a different type of person. Oh, yeah, he is. I get to my motherfucker Jones, like, they get disrespectful. And I feel like they just disrespecting me. And that's just part of my real personality. Like, I can't have you in the way. You know. I have a thing on my page. I tell people, if you can write, I had somebody tonight, they wrote about 13 different comments, right? I'm like, you writing 13 comments, but you can't motherfucking hit up the Cash App one time, son? That take less time. You know. You know. It's crazy. But to the rest of America, you don't know. I covered the Jonathan Majors trial the full 2 weeks, except for 4 days out of that 2 weeks. And within that time span, there was barely, if any, people that were minorities that showed up. This was confirmed later by a woman, Victoria Williams, who freaks my channel. She actually sent me a woman, and that woman was talking about me. And that was the first day of the trial. I say that to say this. During that day that I was down there, not only was myself and the older black gentleman, we were the only 2 people part of the press, but also we had to alternate between times. So I got to go into the courtroom, and I sat behind Jonathan Majors, and I sat behind also as well Megan Good. And I sat next, as I was sitting behind them, next to his driver/bodyguard. Which those guys know my face very well. And more than that, shout out to Bambino, you know. You know. I'm going to throw up a picture in the community section a little bit. Say the same thing. If you know, you know. Because y'all like talking about Diddy and shit so much. There's so much shit, niggas be like, yo, don't do that. I'm going to start doing that. Start showing the fuck off. Fuck Katt Williams. First of all, my personal opinion, that shit you just pulled was some sucker shit. And I think that you think that this is going to drive up ticket sales. My friend, it's not. You can wait with it. They'll forget all about you by Sunday. And everything that you said by Sunday, Tuesday at the latest. So you studied the internet game a little bit and you want to dig yourself in. I get it. Maybe perhaps launch your own podcast, right? Hmm? No, Cat, this ain't gonna work for you. The next day, bing, 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 bing. You had 3 people lined up. Ricky Smiley, Ludacris, Kevin Hart even made a response, and Ice Cube, so let's say 4. That's all you really needed. So I was trying to tell Skinny, respond to this shit right now. Also, I'm pretty sure it's confidentiality somewhere, so NDAs were signed and everything like that. Might be some things on the table you can't discuss. You know what I mean? The bulk of Latin American and Black American culture put no faith in anything more than gossiping. Gossiping is everything. Gossiping is life. And that's what they follow in. Gossip. Day in, day out. Who's this person doing? What's this person doing? Mind you, there's a whole fucking world spinning around these motherfuckers. And they will sit around and say, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my brother, that's my sister. Have nothing of worth to give them as far as solutions. Nothing. Motherfuckers have been around. You've been around 60 years. You just seen all kinds of wars and all kinds of shit happen. But you got nothing to offer? Now you ask yourself, that sound like a solid class of motherfuckers? These are demons now. These are demonic people now, in my opinion. It's not the people that they once used to be. Could you grab them back out the clutches of hell? I highly doubt it. Do you know the percentage? Anybody want to clock me at how much the percentage is of African Americans involved in being in Wicca and being non-denominational? Look for demographics. Trying to tell you. Now, I'm not saying that people can't redeem themselves. They come back. This ain't a bad session. Oh, no, no, no. This is a real session. Mm-mm-mm. The only time is a secret for y'all. Mm-mm-mm. I'm just thinking of all these things in my head. Like, do you know the amount of motherfucking jealousy you got to have in your heart to see a motherfucker like me go to all these different places and you want to write it off as a conspiracy theory? You want to write it off as some shit with the sun and the moon and the stars and the quasars and shit. And I'm just like, these weirdo ass, esoteric, tribalistic motherfuckers. Fucking crazy. And I go to all these miraculous places that I was naming. I even went to Wall Street, showed them where they built a wall to keep the niggas and the Indians out. Those people that walking up Wall Street didn't even know that shit was it, because these people walked up to me and said, "Oh my God, what is this?" They didn't even know. I did that for the culture. I've done a whole bunch of things for the so-called culture. And you know what the cultures do? They'll give you the ass to kiss. Time and time and time again, because see, Black American culture is led by women. The mama factor, the single mama factor, to be honest with you. Most of the single moms that they do have that raise them are pieces of shit. That's not 100% rate, but it's definitely a damn near 70% rate. And these shitty mothers, yes they are, these shitty mothers, raise these feminine ass boys to do nothing but take direction from other women. All right, you replace my mom, your girlfriend. See how that work? And then the same bitches 10 years later be out here arguing and yelling and screaming about the child son of another bitch that was single and how she raised her single kid. And the cycle continues. I don't know if I'm giving up on them or not yet. But I have to look at it right now. These people are not going to help you. They are free consumers. They do not thank you for anything. They are symbolic. They're tribalistic. They have a hive mentality, especially when it's propelled because of violence. It's a horrible thing. And I say to myself, if I had a kid, let's just go deep. If I had a kid with a Black American woman, this is the type of culture the community has to look forward to. Nothing. A bunch of gossiping cowards. So cowardly, they won't even sit around and they'll talk shit about another Black artist, such as Ludacris, such as Kevin Hart, and all these other people, but won't say a word about anybody white. Not a peep. Not a peep. Sad state of affairs. Like I said, I don't get shit on the culture. I'm just trying to make you realize for all the heads that are not African American, so you understand when you run into these tricky motherfuckers. I just thinking, man. I'm not changing anything else up. I even got a new phone. Got the highest ass phone just so I could be, you know. Niggas said, I said to niggas, I said, yo, listen, I want you to pay none of my bills or promote my lifestyle. Just do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the Cash App so I can make my money back off the phone. And what a nigga to put 50 cents in there. Do you know that? When a nigga put 2 quarters in my Cash App. Isn't it crazy? All the so-called culture. And then they'll run back out to their head and be like, oh, that nigga over there, he complaining or whatever, typical. because they have a certain way of thinking, like a hive mentality, and they all believe that they are judge and executioner. Anyway, I really don't have too much more to say. I'm just disappointed. I'm disgusted. I don't see any real reason to still try to like get on the mic and try to like become, because like these folks are not interested in things becoming one. They're interested in things becoming for themselves. I don't know. Anyway, that includes my thing for the night. If I fuck around and say the wrong thing, I just want the rest of America to know this. The way that these people portray themselves online and they act all proud and shit like that or whatever, the only people they financially support is extremely toxic people. I'm telling you, these are not. I don't know. Oh man, yeah. Let me go to sleep. It's too much. But you're not gonna find any friends amongst them. So that's one thing I would tell you too. If you can, in this day and age, and you can avoid having a black female as your, choice of who you lay down to procreate with, you should. Mhm. My suggestion is you stay deep and long away from procreating with the women. That'll be your segue to not having your child involved with these folks. Violent as hell, communist as hell. Want you to be obedient, but at the same time, that presumptions. And your child will be in danger. I tell this story about a month ago. I was walking. I'm pretty sure they did it on purpose, but a bike fell towards me, and it caught me. I ain't even gonna lie. And I fell down real softly, but I fell down because the angle it hit me at. If I wouldn't have fell with it, I probably would have broke my foot. So I fell with it. Got back up. Mm-mm. That's how I really feel. I'm sorry, y'all. That's how I really feel. And there's nothing out here that's going to stop me from feeling like that. Why should I stop feeling like that when I'm observing what I'm observing? We all are observing people. Katt Williams is popular right now, not because he told a funny joke. Katt Williams is popular right now because he got on fucking Shannon Sharp's show and lied to everybody. And 40%, listen, 42% of the shit he was saying wasn't true. The rest of it was just Chuck. It literally was Chuck. And you know it was. I could even tell when he was lying. You look back to the side and look up. When no motherfucker doing that, constantly they looking for something to say. Jaguar Wright, she does it all the time. I keep trying to tell y'all that. You look it up in the DSM, you'll see for yourself too. Mm. They support toxicity. They support all the dirty things you think of. Nothing good. All the fucked up things you could think of, like a grown ass man running around here talking about for 30 years I've been keeping everybody's secrets. That's what he said. I said, you bitch. I'll never fuck with another Katt Williams. Like if I see that shit free somewhere, I'll go check it. I'm never scooping that nigga out. Let me not stop wasting my time with these folks like watching a movie or something like that. It's too much here to explain. It's like I said once again, these are destructive people. They sit online and the only thing they want to do is tear down their own people. No offense to any of the minorities that is other minorities or other culture groups that is intended to hear this about this group of people. I want to say to them, please believe the stories I'm telling you. And there's probably even more after that. But the truth of the matter is, African Americans only support vicious bullshit. That's it. Gossiping. I watched, after I went live earlier tonight, I went over and I watched, and this is no lie, I swear to God to you. And I saw one person that was here earlier in somebody else's chat. And you probably hear again too. Tell them what you did. You donated to them, didn't you? You donated to them, right? Yeah. Okay. This is wondering. Because I see you. I see you. That's cute. Donated a whole almost $20 on it. That's another thing too. Most of them are sneaky as hell. They'll go. They have no loyalty, so they'll go between podcast and podcast. Even I'm even heard other podcasters talk about it now. Shit's crazy. But yep, they went over there tonight. That was over here earlier. Did the same exact shit. I gonna tell you whose podcast he said he went at her shit. But it was just weird. I was just like, yo, really, nigga? I see niggas get stomped out from the culture. George Floyd. There was niggas filming him, but all them gangsters, so-called niggas be able to this store. I couldn't even run in and rush that fat nigga. The guy they only got convicted for killing George Floyd. To even add insult to injury, once he got in the club, David Siobhan, that's his name. This past year, niggas tried to stab him up. Guess who it was? Well, they ain't tried to, they did. Hope everybody's doing well. What's going on, Valerie Cole? Ain't shit. I'm just late night kicking it before I go to sleep or whatever. Just reminisce those some things. It might be some things here I say you may not like or whatever. It's purely observation of what I'm just seeing in society right now. So don't take no offense to it or whatever. Whatever I say is just my opinion. That's how I feel, and that's what worked for me. It may or may not work for you too. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I'm talking about the fallacies that collectively Black Americans perpetrate, as well as a lot of Latin Americans perpetrate too, which are no more than that. This fallacy, fakes, and lies. That's what we're talking about here. And I'm also talking about the lack of support that's purposely been thrown in that direction, no other than from way before Jack came into the situation. So I ain't even talking about that. But if it was way before that. It was just sheer jealousy. That's it. Niggas don't do the same thing. I'm usually ahead of them. It's actually kind of funny. high schoolish, third grade twattage, if you would. Give a fuck. You don't beg the same niggas or ask the same niggas twice financially when they know it's your only other option. And this is how contradictory they are. As many of you from other cultures know, they sit around all the time talking about hit up the white man and the white man and the white man and the white man and the white man. Meanwhile, they won't help me get up. Whole bunch of symbolic talking going on. Online sublimic presence. Crazy, man. Crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna tap off here, man. I just wanted to jet for a minute. Ain't no need to mention the Cash App and that shit. Well, I guess I ain't even jump on here for that. Jump on here to let know you got a choice. You don't have to deal with these people in a bulk, even if you're part of that culture. You know, separate yourself from them. They're dangerous, and they're a fraction of the population that is walking themselves straight into a hellhole. So let them. I say the ones that you can that are willing to listen to you, the rest of them, let them die. That's where they're headed anyway. They're evil. They hate each other. Highly undependable. They support toxicity. If you just look on the YouTube or anywhere else on social media, you'll see the things that the kids do. It's disgusting. And Latinos fit in there too. I'm glad people are logging off there. Because you're the exact motherfuckers I was talking about. I'm glad. I hope that you log off from there. Always be happy if you see them log off and you talking about some real shit where they log off. Be happy. Like, I hope I find you so I can block you. I blocked, what was it, 30, I think it was, about 30 more people than that. Because I never interacted with you before. And you've been a subscriber for a long time, because when you're removing them, it tells you right out of the bottom how long they've been a subscriber. It's like, I was just thinking about something, man. Because anything else I have to say is going to be so fucking harsh. And I just don't want to live to regret that later. So I'm going to leave y'all the fuck alone while I'm hyped right now. Yeah, I'm just going to leave y'all the fuck alone. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful life. My African American brothers and sisters is full of shit. People full of shit. I swear to God, bro. Like this fucking phony, fake racist, conspiracy theorist motherfuckers. And if you don't look like you're down in despair, Yeah. Basically, the motherfuckers want to be the replacements for the motherfuckers they try to get rid of. Coons, tap dancers, shoe shiners. It's not black people. These are not the black people from before. This is the weak version of them. Institutionalized by the system and single parenting. Mm-hmm. You don't need to say the cash app, motherfucker shit right there on the screen. That shit right there on the screen. See, y'all see what I mean? The rest of America. You're supposed to like me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back and we're gonna block some more of them. Hopefully they'll start coming over here to hear what I gotta say. Don't like what I have to say, but always show up. That's voyeuristic, but you know. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. All right, that's enough of that.